See what you did, Stephanie? Do you see the problems you have brought upon this team with your antics this season, Stephanie White? This is what you have done. Now we have to contemplate. We have to think about the what ifs. What ifs that shouldn't even exist because of the antics and the foolishness you pulled this.
Basically, fam, buckle up, because this one's wild. While everyone's losing their minds over Indiana's big wins and that never-ending Kelsey Mitchell contract circus, there's a silent storm brewing underneath, and it could obliterate the team's future. All eyes should be on one player. She's been sidelined, disrespected, practically tossed aside like she doesn't matter. And the craziest part? She's the heartbeat of the whole franchise. Yeah, we're talking about Lexie Hull. What I'm about to drop will have you rethinking everything you believed about Stephanie White and her so-called leadership. Here's the twist nobody's mentioning. Lexie's hitting free agency this summer. She's got options, serious ones. And after the season she just delivered, she might walk right out on the very team she helped build from scratch.
6 Lexie Hulls is a free agent this offseason. The Indiana Fever will protect her in the expansion draft or whatever. And Lexie Hull's going to have suitors. With the way she performed down the stretch and in the playoffs, the way she was guarding, the way she had a couple big nights shooting the basketball, Lexie Hull is going to have suitors. You better believe the Portland Fire will be interested. The Seattle Storm will be interested. And they will be willing to probably pay her top dollar.
Let that sink in for a second. This is what you get when Lexie Hull is actually unleashed on the court. The moment injuries forced Stephanie White to finally play her, Lexie went off, locking down stars, diving for every stray ball, nailing clutch threes, and doing all the gritty, unglamorous stuff real championship teams are built on. But here's where it gets downright absurd. Even after proving herself time and time again, White somehow kept digging up new excuses to bench her. Now the vultures are circling. Portland and Seattle are watching every move. Wallets wide open, ready to drop real money. The whole league's whispering the same thing. If Indiana won't value her, we will. And before you brush it off as ordinary free agency drama, hold that thought, because what Stephanie White pulled next wasn't strategy. It was betrayal. Broken promises, unchecked ego, and a coach pretending the very woman who helped build this team never even existed. Interviewed
Stephanie White. Let's be clear. Lexie Hull got straight up played and disrespected by this new Fever regime. Kelly Crosskoff, Amber Cox, Stephanie White straight up disrespected her. They acted as if Lexie Hull was not a part of the core 4 who helped turn this team around. It wasn't just CCAB and Kelsey. No, Lexie Hull was a huge part of that. A huge part of that before Stephanie White got here. Stephanie White came to the Indiana Fever and straight up disregarded everything Lexie Hull did the year before.
He was disrespected. Straight up. That's not an overstatement. That's exactly what went down. Steen up, because this right here is the real heart of the mess. Before Stephanie White ever set foot in Indiana, there was a core 4 who rebuilt this franchise from the ashes. Caitlin Clark, obviously. Kelsey Mitchell, no doubt. Aaliyah Boston, of course. And that 4th pillar, Lexie Hull. She was the glue, the defensive backbone. The ultimate team-first player who ditched her own stats and ego so everyone else could shine. Then in waltzes White with her master plan. And what's her first big move? She brings in DeWanna Bonner. Yes, that Bonner. Hands her a Fat Max contract, locks in her starting spot, and basically erases Lexie from existence. Sure, calling her 59.5 was a joke, but the insult wasn't. White chose an aging vet over the young star who'd already proven herself in Indiana's system. Now picture what that does to a player mentally. You're not told outright that you don't matter, but every action screams it. Every hustle play, every bruise, every defensive stop suddenly means nothing. You're being replaced by someone who hasn't earned an ounce of what you've built.
All of a sudden, DeWanna Bonner quits on the team. She's no-showing it. She's no-showing work while receiving payments. Stephanie White is getting on the camera, lying to us, acting like everything is all good, lying to us when you knew everything wasn't all good. You knew that. Only for an article to come out the same day DeWanna Bonner refused to return to the team. You think Lexie Hull don't remember that? You threw me to the back burner for her and she quit. She didn't even have the decency to contact us, her teammates, and let us know she won't be coming back.
You really think Lexie Hull forgot all that? Not a chance. Athletes never ever forget disrespect. They store it, they feed on it, and it turns into straight fire, fuel to either prove you wrong or leave you choking on regret somewhere else. And what happened next? Oh, it took the chaos to a whole new level. DeWanna Bonner, she straight up quit. No heads up, no text, nothing. Just ghosted the team. Before she disappeared, Stephanie White stood smiling in front of cameras, lying through her teeth that everything was fine. Meanwhile, Bonner had mentally checked out weeks ago. She stopped showing up, still cashing those paychecks like nothing happened. And on the same day, White tried to sell her everything's great fairy tale. An article dropped. Boom. Exposing the ugly truth. Bonner
It was important to get to know her off.
Now imagine being Lexie for a second. The player who replaced you quit. The coach who benched you lied to everyone. And now they're crawling back, acting like they need you. Not out of respect. Not because they finally recognize your worth, but because they're out of options. That's not loyalty, that's straight desperation.
Okay, DeWanna Bonner skips town. Lexie Hull steps in, plays great basketball. Sophie Cunningham was dealing with an injury. Sophie Cunningham gets healthy. What do? What did Stephanie White do, y'all? Threw Lexie Hull to the back burner again and benched her. For no apparent reason. And I'm going to show you because I remember the cluster of games where I'm looking, I'm like, damn, Lexie not getting no minutes.
So Lexie
Hull steps in, right? And she does exactly what everyone who actually watches this team already knew she would do. She balls out. She's making clutch plays, locking down on defense, bringing energy that transforms the whole vibe. Caitlin Clark finally has someone she genuinely trusts beside her. The team's humming, everything's flowing. It's perfect. Then Sophie Cunningham gets healthy. Solid player, no shade at all. But watch what Stephanie White does next. She benches Lexie. Again. For no clear reason whatsoever. This is right after Lexie saved the team from the entire Bonner fiasco. After she proved once again that she's indispensable, White just tosses her back to the sidelines like it never happened. At this point, you can see the pattern crystal clear. It's not about performance. It's not about merit. It's about fitting into White's precious vision, her rigid little plan that ignores actual results. And apparently, no matter how many times Lexie proves she belongs, she just doesn't fit the narrative Stephanie's trying to protect.
This cluster of games right here. Lexie Hull, she played 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 14 minutes, 19 minutes, 21 minutes, 19 minutes, 19. Bro, in July, she wasn't even cracking 20 minutes a game. Lexie Hull, 6 Lexie Hulls could not get 20 minutes in July.
Look at these numbers. Seriously, this is the smoking gun. It's July, the peak of the season, when teams are supposed to be building chemistry and playoff rhythm. And Lexie Hull, she couldn't even crack 20 minutes a game. 15 one night, 18 the next, then 14, then 19. She was getting leftover minutes when she should have been starting. But here's where it gets downright ridiculous. During this exact stretch, Indiana's defense was falling apart. They desperately needed exactly what Lexie brings, yet Stephanie White kept her glued to the bench. Why? Because she was busy experimenting, starting Ari McDonald, running weird 3-guard lineups with Caitlin Clark, forcing Sophie Cunningham into roles that just didn't fit. Every experiment imaginable, except the one that actually worked, giving Lexie consistent minutes to do her thing. You all know how we roll on Baisley. We don't chase gossip, we chase data. And the numbers scream it loud and clear. Lexie Hull wasn't forgotten by accident. She was systematically pushed aside even when she delivered every single time she got the chance.
If you think Lexie Hull and her agent are not thinking about this, you have another thing coming. And if you think you are going to be able to get Lexie Hull back for dirt cheap, you have lost your mentals. You've lost it. Lexie Hull is going to be a commodity this offseason. You're going to have to pay top dollar in the same.
This is the reality.
All right, Indiana. Here's your harsh wake-up call. If you honestly believe Lexie Hull and her agent aren't already
It was important to get to know her off.
Her market value and next move, you're living in denial. Because here's what's about to explode in free agency. Teams are lining up to throw real cash at her. Not backup money, starter money. Every single franchise in the WNBA wants exactly what Lexie brings. She doesn't need the ball every possession. She doesn't beg for plays drawn up for her. She just guards the toughest matchup night after night and does all the dirty work that never even shows up in the box score. She blends into any system and makes everyone around her better. Players like that, they're solid gold in this league. Look at Portland Fire, rebuilding from the ground up. They crave culture setters like Lexie. Seattle Storm is reshaping around young talent. They need vets who play the game the right way, like Lexie. Even contenders strapped for cap space will dig up the funds for her because she's not just another piece. She's the piece that transforms a good team into a championship one. Interview.
They promised DeWanna Bonner things, just like you clearly went and promised Natasha Howard things, which is why she could stink it up all year and you never benched her. You need to go ahead and let Lexie Hull know, hey, we're going to pay you good money and you are going to be a starter. You are a part of the core four. You will be a starter. You had no problem promising DeWanna Bonner stuff. You had no problem promising Natasha Howard stuff. She's walking in talking about winning MVPs and all types of nonsense. You need to have that same energy for Lexie Hull because she earned her keep here with the Indiana Fever.
Here's the comparison.
All right, Indiana, let's get brutally honest for a second, because what's happening here is straight up organizational negligence. You've made it crystal clear that Kelsey Mitchell is the top priority this offseason. Every presser, every headline, every quote. It's all, we've got to re-sign Kelsey. She's the key to everything. And yeah, nobody's denying her importance. But where's that same energy for Lexie Hull? Where are the promises, the public backing, the commitment? You had no problem rolling out the red carpet for DeWanna Bonner. Max contract, starting spot, all before she even played a single game for you. Same story with Natasha Howard, hyped up with talk of MVP runs and endless opportunity, even when she wasn't delivering. But Lexie Hull, the player who's actually been there, earned Caitlin Clark's trust and proven her worth time and time again. Silence. And here's the cruel irony. Bonner quit on you. Howard never lived up to the hype. But Lexie, she's been everything you could want and more. She's out there playing through pain, diving for loose balls, grinding on defense, even taking the court with two black eyes. That one detail alone tells you everything about who Lexie Hull is. She's not—
I ain't heard you say it. Don't sleep on Lexie and let somebody else don't let nobody else take your groceries. Don't let somebody else come in and steal your groceries. I'm telling you, because they will. Stephanie White has put the Indiana Fever in danger of losing Lexie Hull due to her bonehead moves and her negligence. Throwing that woman to the back burner when she was damn near heart and soul. It's everywhere. She out there playing with two black eyes, all types of stuff. And that's the woman you kept throwing to the back burner? Is this